So we were discussing disorders. In that we just discussed about the male in the last video. What was happening in the male? There were 4 cases. It's like we were discussing the main term, which is called as infertility, which is simply when a person is in a physical contact, but there's no any birth and nothing like that, no changes. Even it take place, like it is taking more than 1 year, but there are no changes after even physical contact and everything done. So this means this is a disorder which can be seen either in a male or a female. We are done with the male till last video. Today we are going to see female. So what will happen? First one is ovulationary disorder. This means irregular or absent can prevent the release of eggs necessary for fertility. This can cause by hormonal imbalance, polycystic ovary syndromes, thyroid disorders, or premature ovarian failure. So this means in this ovulation disorder there will be irregular or absent ovulation, which can also be released when egg are necessary, but even more than that amount during the fertilization, which can cause by hormonal imbalance. Either that's ovary syndrome, like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, or either by thyroid disorders or premature ovarian failure, and these all things can happen. Then comes another, which is called as fallopian tube blockage. Fallopian tube, you should know about this term before we tell you. So this is a structure. So here you'll see fallopian tube. So here comes the egg, and here we have fallopian tube, which simply the duct, and this is even divided into 3 parts. The middle one called as ampulla, and the first one called as isthmus. This one called as inframen or something, influendin, if I'm not wrong. So these all things. So fallopian tube is this one tube. So what will happen in this one? This means something would be here, and that's why it would be blockage. So fallopian tube blockage means blockage or damage to fallopian tube, which can hinder transport of eggs and sperm. So here this egg will go, and here it will become, in this ampulla region, it become sperm get, and they get fused. So what will happen? So blockage or damage of the fallopian tube, which can hinder transport of, this means there could be problem in eggs and sperm, making fertilization difficult or impossible. So when there will be blockage, no fertilization and no sperm can be fertilized. They can, but it will be quite difficult for them, and sometimes it might seem impossible. So common causes include pelvic inflammatory disease, endometriosis, or previous pelvic surgery. So it can also be, it's like there could be pelvic inflammatory, this means this pelvic entire downward region, there could be inflammatory disease, and there could be endometriosis or previous, even if we had any previous pelvic surgery, that can also be caused. And here comes another term called as this endometriosis, which is simply when the uterus, we know uterus have 3 linings, so endometrium, which during menstruation cycle that break down, so it can also be MCQ. So what happened in this endometriosis, which is a disease when lining of uterus does not start in the inside, either that it start growing outside. So this means it will grow over here or somewhere, which means of course it's a kind of big problem. This means if lining was supposed to be in the uterus, we know uterus third lining, which is endometrium, which will break during the menstruation cycle. But what will happen when it breaks one time? This means it have been broke, but the second time it won't again come here, instead it will grow outside. This means it's kind of big disorder, right? Then comes another, which is urinary or cervical issue, which is abnormalities in the uterus or cervix can interfere with inflammation, fertilize egg, affect the passage of sperm. Conditions such as urine, fibroids, polyps, cervical stones, and can contribute to infertility. This could be a reason as well, which is not very important, I believe. Endometriosis, which I explained you, the condition which occur when tissue lining uterus grow outside the uterus, often affecting, and of course if it will grow outside, so here we have ovaries, this will of course harm this ovaries as well, fallopian tube, and other pelvic organs. So endometrium can cause inflammation, scarring, structural abnormality, leading to fertility problems, right? Then we have age related factor, which means as women the quantity of the eggs declines. So this means in this one what we'll see that if the menstruation cycle is supposed to end at the age of 50 years, if it ends at the 30 or 40, this means it's a problem we need to look into. It's like as women age, the quality and quantity of the eggs decline, making it more challenging. Advanced maternal age is associated with highly risk of infertility and pregnancy complications. I'm sure it will be clear. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. We'll come with another disorders. Bye bye.